Hey fatty, are you seriously going to go out like that?
He said to me. I looked in the mirror, and the beautiful diamond earrings he got me for my birthday, the gold shiny chain around my neck, and all the glowing rings still couldn't hide the fact that I looked fat. We showed up at the 5-star restaurant, where he tossed his keys to the valet and practically drooled at the hot girl standing and waiting for her car. I wanted to freak out, but I decided to wait until we got home. I want my present. It was our anniversary dinner after all. It'll be a good present. After I ate the salad he ordered for me, the waiter came by to pour some more of the expensive bottle of champagne into our glasses. It's almost time. I was practically giddy, but I kept it all inside and tried to take my mind off of it. I tried to think about how I love him, despite all the nasty things he says to me, despite the yelling, despite the fact that he cheated. I love him. I do. And now, I want my present. It's my prize for putting up with him. He smiled after the waiter left and pulled out a big box. I smiled coyly at him. My present. He gave me a wink and then handed the present to me. I wanted to tear it open like a 4-year-old on Christmas, but I kept my composure. I slowly pulled the ribbon, picked at the tape gently, and calmly undressed the box. There was a red box inside, and when I opened the lid, there was a beautiful shiny diamond necklace. I'm super depressed in this relationship, and I hate being around him. But when I see diamonds, it all just melts away. This is how I became a gold digger. I wasn't always like this. In fact, at the beginning of my first relationship, I was really determined to prove that I was not like the other girls. I wanted to show that I was not materialistic, which was true at the time. And I wanted to show my appreciation with whatever he gave me, because his love was all that mattered to me before. All of that changed when he started buying me a lot of food and things. His mother never showed him any real affection as a child, and because of that, he mimicked her ways by showing me affection only through gifts. I have never received this much stuff before, especially since my mother and I often struggled financially because she was a single parent. He gave me everything I wanted, even if I didn't ask for it, until the point that the total money spent on me for every date was equivalent to $100. That's a lot of money, especially since we were barely even 16 back then. But we had a lot of problems, and we started fighting more and more because of our problems. And so it came to the point that his money was the only thing that made me happy in the relationship. His gifts were somehow compensation for my unhappiness and dissatisfaction in the relationship. He would give me all these different and expensive gifts, and we'd go on these expensive dates to hide the core of the real problem. We didn't love each other that much anymore. It kept getting worse between us. I was no longer patient and understanding with him, and I became demanding and even aggressive when I didn't get what I wanted. I treated him almost like he wasn't my equal. I had ridiculously high expectations of him because I couldn't feel what I felt during the first year of our relationship anymore. But I didn't want to break up with him, even after 3 years into the relationship, because of his money. At this point, he was already cheating on me with another girl, but I still remained firm with not breaking up with him until he was able to buy me a present for Christmas, Valentine's, and my birthday. I even tried fooling myself thinking that deep down, I still do genuinely love him, but I knew that it wasn't him that I loved. It was his money. His money helped me with a lot of things. Not only was I able to afford the things I needed and wanted, it helped ease my mother's expenses. She didn't have to pay that much for me, and she was able to save a lot of money. At the time, ever since I fell out of love, the only person I thought about was myself and my mother. I thought that he deserved me using him after everything he had done to me. Even though I had my part in the blame for the outcome of our relationship, he was also no angel. I may have eventually became a gold digger, but he also did his part. He became more and more emotionally abusive. I had to stop eating because he kept calling me fat, and because I was so depressed, I was able to quickly lose 10 pounds in less than a month. He didn't just very often call me fat, but he would also talk behind my back to his friends about things like how he never thought I was pretty and how I always needed to make more of an effort to look presentable. He also had unrealistically high expectations for me all the time because he was always ashamed of me. He was afraid of showing me to his friends because of my physical appearance. It was just a very toxic relationship that was just bound to break. And I just capitalized on it and took advantage of it while I still could. But even though he treated me so horribly because of his money and my shallowness, I persisted on staying. But in the end, I eventually broke up with him because I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't like who I was turning into. I knew that what I was doing was not me. And I was afraid that I'd fall into a much deeper hole that I never wanted to really dive into. I wanted to become the old me again, the girl who wasn't materialistic, and whose love was initially pure and genuine. I decided to distance myself from boys and dating after that, to just really reflect and make myself heal from my previous relationship. I still was very good at saving my money, and even worked different small jobs to earn money. I sold most of the things he gave me, and put it in my bank account to help my mother with future payments. I wanted to become better, and I didn't want to go back to who I was before. I didn't like who I had become, and I want to love my next boyfriend more genuinely now, and not just use him because of his money. Though, I have to admit that I did relapse. Getting into short-term relationships with guys I never really liked. They had money, and they gave me what he gave me before, and that's why I stayed with them. It was short-term because I knew it was wrong. There was something within me that told me to stop. I was never really happy with this kind of lifestyle. And finally, after the second short-term relationship, I became even more determined to change for the better and separate from my materialistic ways. I wanted to become a much better person. I didn't want to be a gold digger. I did not want to use people for what they had anymore. I hope that this story will teach people that a relationship should not survive solely on expensive gifts and extravagant dates. Money cannot buy love, and that they should not depend so heavily on someone just for their money, or base their self-worth on money and gifts that their significant other gives them. A relationship should just be filled with genuine love and affection. Gifts are okay, but if gifts are the only way of showing affection, then something must be changed there.